The 12GB Skyrim update just added paid mods back into Skyrim on both PC and console, and it's now just a matter of time until we see Bethesda give Fallout and Starfield the same treatment. So let's talk about what this is, why your mod list doesn't work, and why the paid mods are about to get even more expensive and how people are reacting. Because some mod authors have already removed their mods from Bethesda WON'T completely, meaning that console players will no longer be able to access them. But in my opinion, there are very good things and bad things about this update, and I want to talk about both sides of this story. The Skyrim update introduced a new creations menu with both free mods and paid mods, all together that you can download. And I will be reviewing these paid mods in a separate video, which I'll link below. They range from new dungeons, armors, spells, houses, followers, lore-friendly guns, and other new mechanics. Now, the user interface has been revamped, which feels rather clunky in places on PC, but it works great as soon as you plug in a controller, and it was clearly designed for console users. Mod creations now have a larger text description and gallery, but I would love to see the option for an integrated gameplay trailer as well. Currently, you can only buy the mod, and if you don't like it, you can't actually refund it. So I think a trailer would go a long way to actually showing the player what the gameplay of that mod looks like before they download it. For example, the trailer for the East Empire Company expansion mod got me way more excited than reading this boring text description. The Aquabus has a link to some YouTube gameplay, but I can't click on the link if I'm on PC or console, so it's kind of pointless. Now, unfortunately, unlike the old Creation Club mods, these new paid mods will disable achievements entirely. On PC, you can just mod this out to reactivate them, but it seems strange to punish the players for downloading these free mods, especially when it comes to the curated content that Bethesda's put their name to. And that brings me on to the people who are creating these paid mods for Bethesda. They're actually mod authors that have been verified by Bethesda. Currently, there's only 5 paid mods that have been created so far, but Bethesda has a new application page for people who want to join this paid mod system. And in comparison to the old program, this one offers much more freedom in terms of what you can do as a mod creator. For example, one paid mod adds a professionally voiced follower into Skyrim with over 12,000 lines of dialogue, which I checked out in yesterday's live stream.
I swear I haven't taken anything. I didn't do anything. Let me go, or I swear to Talos, you will pay. I told you I didn't take anything. You're going to pay for this.
Now, previously, any voice-acted content would need to be translated into multiple languages before being published. But now it doesn't need to be localized. You can just get one voice actor and publish it. And this was actually the main reason for the limitation on why we saw the old Creation Club content all being done by reading notes and books to try and figure out the story. But now that's not a limiting factor, and many of these mods have voice acting. And now that content actually feels like a mini expansion to the game. But while these new paid mods are on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation, you should know that all of the creations for PlayStation are still not allowed to have any external assets. This means that the mod creators cannot add any 3D armor or weapon models that don't use any pre-existing assets. It's sad that nothing has changed for PlayStation users in this regard, but I think it's quite clear that Bethesda, having been brought by Microsoft, is really focusing on the Xbox marketplace at this point. But if you're wondering what kind of paid mod content you can expect in the future from this, if we go onto the new application page where mod authors can get approved for this new program, you'll need a portfolio of work to actually apply to make content, to make creations here. As for the paid content you can make, creations must be standalone, so it cannot depend on any other community releases, free or paid. The creations need to be completely new to qualify for release. You can't repurpose older stuff that you've made or previously uploaded, or any work by any other authors unless they've been contracted, which sounds like a bit of a loophole. I'm not so sure how that works. Really interestingly, creations cannot contain anything that's been procedurally generated through AI. Now, if you've seen my video on the AI follower Herika, in my opinion, this adds just an unlimited level of gameplay to the game, and I do think it is probably the future of gaming in some capacity. How are you doing today, Herika? Are you well?
Oh, moist boy, you never fail to make me laugh with your creative mispronunciations. But it's Harika, not Erica.
Oh.
And I'm doing just fine, thank you.
This is mind-blowing. But currently the infrastructure to facilitate AI NPCs like this just does not exist, and I don't think it's coming anytime soon. I'd be surprised if we even see it for the Elder Scrolls 6. One thing that did stand out to me though is that creations don't need to be lore-friendly, but apparently if an effort is made to make them lore-friendly, it will be mentioned. For example, guns are lore-friendly, but more excitingly, the ESL range capacity has been doubled, which means that mods on Bethesda.net can be even bigger, in fact twice as big as before. Now when I found out about this, I was quite concerned about the quality control issues that might take place if users can upload whatever content they want after getting approved by Bethesda. So for quality control, all mod authors' creations must be approved by Bethesda, who have a quality assurance testing team just for creations. And there's a back and forth process between the mod author and the QA testers to make sure that things are working before it's published. Hopefully this will lead to a bug-free experience. But who knows whether it will conflict with other paid mods that might be advertised. For example, if someone builds a house in a really idyllic location and then another author builds a house in that same location, you can't have both paid mods at once running in your game. And I'm sure there'll be multiple conflicts like this, but since Bethesda are selling these mods, I am glad to see that they're testing them before releasing them. Now, the overall good thing about paid mods, and something I very much agree with and support, is that mod authors can now legally make money from creating mods for Bethesda. While these contracts do vary, I've been told that the revenue share is 30 to 70% going to Bethesda. And once approved, mod authors choose the price of their work from a list of preset options. So you might see one quest mod costing $3, whereas a smaller one costs $5 because it's up to the mod author to select the pricing. Also, just to warn you, on the 12th of December, Bethesda is going to be increasing the price of Creation Club points. Currently, it's about $1 for 100 Creation Club points. That price is going to go up very soon, according to Bethesda's website. So if you're going to buy some of this stuff or stockpile some Creation Club points, now's a good time to do so. And obviously, this does mean that the price of Creation Club content and mods is just going to increase overall. So the prices you're looking at now are only going to get higher. Now, since mod authors can now make money, we've seen a group of developers form a team called Kingath Creations. They're a new company that's been formed with the intention of creating paid mod creations for Bethesda, and ideally making a living while doing so. Interestingly, this is the same team that created the Sim Settlement mod in Fallout 4, so they're very highly regarded and a very talented group of folks. They've already released their first paid mod, which is the East Empire expansion, and I'm excited to try it out. It has new mechanics and systems that it adds to the game. But the thing is that this monetization model has been done before with Minecraft and Roblox, where literal teams of developers band together to create and produce content to sell on the third-party marketplace. And a lot of money can be generated in these things. It is in fact a very lucrative career for many people. And it will surely mean that we see some very high quality, expensive mods on this new marketplace. But I also think that the opposite thing can happen. There's a lot of risk to have some variations in the standard that we see on this paid for marketplace. Some people may be looking for a quick cash grab, but that remains to be seen. In Fallout 76, for example, to change the color of your Pip-Boy would cost you like $5 or something. Whereas I don't think something like that would actually sell on Bethesda's paid creation system, I do think it's going to be interesting to see if Bethesda sets some kind of standard, or if they just leave it up to the community-like system to show us the best mods on the platform. Now, many of you have noticed that your mod list has been broken after the recent Skyrim update, both PC players and Xbox players. Now, as somebody who has published multiple mod lists for Skyrim that automatically install themselves in the correct load order using the Nexus Vortex mod manager, which you can find linked below in the description if you're interested, well, I can speak from personal experience to say that this is a nightmare, especially because now everyone is mad at me because the mod list we made doesn't work anymore. Every time Skyrim updates, it breaks a lot of mods that rely on SKSE, which is the Skyrim script extender. Sometimes it's just a simple fix and update, and other times it's a lot more complicated, and these things can take months to resolve, or even some mod authors have moved on from creating mods anymore and these things are never updated. This particular update actually saw a lot of the Xbox UI mods break. So if you are struggling to run your mod list on Xbox, make sure you just uninstall the UI mods and then keep trying. But Bethesda has actually been working with the script extender team, and once again, SKSE is already updated at the launch of this patch. Now we just need to wait for mod authors to fix their individual mods until that mod list will work again. But the good news is that going forward, all the paid mods that are released for Skyrim from this point will not require a game patch to release. This means, technically speaking, this is the last time that a paid mods update will break your Skyrim mod list. In theory. I'm sure in the future they will need to patch certain things and improve the marketplace's appearance for Skyrim and Fallout and Starfield when those games eventually follow. Skyrim is definitely a testing field for Bethesda in that regard. But one thing that is very interesting to me though is that Bethesda has combined the old Creation Club content with the paid mods and the free mods section. So now, whenever you're looking for mods, particularly free mods, you'll also see all of the paid mods next to it. Now this is intentionally done to advertise that paid content to you, because if you buy it, Bethesda make money. Now currently all the featured mods are paid mods. This may make some of the free mods harder to find, specifically for console users. I'm sure most PC players would just ignore this. But one thing I found very weird is that the storage capacity has not been increased. So console players were already having to make choices with what free mods or paid mods they installed into their Xbox mod list. I understand why this limit is there for consoles, but I am very confused why I would have it for Bethesda's creations on PC. Currently, I have 525 gigabytes of just Creation Club content installed, and I've got like another 400 gigabytes left. So in a year's time, I'll probably be very limited by how much paid mods specifically I can actually buy and install, because I don't have any free mods installed right now. I feel like Bethesda is shooting themselves in the foot here, and I feel like there are definitely some technical implications to increasing the mod capacity limit, and I don't know what those are. But this is something I think that is extremely important to players and would only improve the gameplay experience should they be able to increase those limits, especially when it comes to not so much Fallout 4, but definitely Starfield, where as these games get bigger in size, the scope of these player-created mods gets bigger, but yet the players become much more limited on what they can actually install. Of course, as a PC player, I can install all these free mods externally from the Nexus without limitation. The only limitation is my PC, which thankfully our partners over at Apex produce some incredible custom builds that are more than capable of running Skyrim mod lists. You can check them out from the link below if you're interested. Now, some of the mod authors are upset at Bethesda's decision to combine free and paid mods. Simon Magnus 616 actually removed all of his mods from Bethesda WON'T, saying, "I won't participate in a two-tiered system of paid mods and freed mods." Essentially, that was not what he signed up for. Now, Simon is well known for his overhaul mods that change fast travel, survival mode, vampires, cooking, and much more. They're especially popular on Xbox, and it's going to be interesting to see how many mod authors follow him. Ultimately, though, I think this is a short-term storm, and Bethesda is going to be sticking to their guns on this decision. And Microsoft too, who now own Bethesda. Having your user and fan base generate infinite amounts of content for them to then sell to their player base, for them to financially gain from, is a great business decision, and ones that other companies have been successfully doing and monetizing for a long time. I think the Bethesda modding community is very unique and specific and goes back a very long time compared to those other games though. So Bethesda see a lot more pushback when it comes to this compared to other companies. But let's move on to talking about Fallout and Starfield. I do think Skyrim was just to test the waters really, and maybe adjust a few things before this goes fully live, but it's only a matter of time before we see this coming to Fallout, and then definitely Starfield. Obviously Starfield is free on Xbox Game Pass and has apparently just reached 12 million players overall, and many of those people playing are playing for free on Xbox Game Pass. And now this mod system is going to be a way for Bethesda to monetize all those free users, with the additional paid content being created by their fan base. That will hopefully fill some of the more barren planets with new mechanics, locations, and systems, and I think it's going to be welcomed by players willing to pay. Todd Howard constantly talked about Starfield being made with modders in mind, and this is exactly what he meant. This was the plan. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys want a full review of the different Creation Club mods, I'm going to link my video here and in the description where we go over that. I'll see you there.